Standard Gains Podcast, episode 28, take 1.
Here we go. Thank you guys so much for the support in the podcast, and make sure to smash the like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Today, we are going to look at how good is fitness advice on TikTok.
And I have to say, it is interesting. It is quite interesting because it used to be lots of advice on TikTok. There is some interesting cringy stuff on there. Yep. I hate the word cringe, but I think it's going
to be cringe.
It's going to be cringe. I think it's getting better, and it's definitely in terms of fitness advice. It actually could be very good and maybe even a bit boring. Yep. But I hope on TikTok, because it's short videos, we're going to see some epic stuff. But
yeah, we have no clue what we're going to see. We're just going to type in a keyword and let's go.
So for fitness advice, what kind of keyword would you type in? I mean,
fitness advice.
Fitness advice. Yeah. Let's see where we're getting. Fitness advice for beginners. 16-second TikTok. What do you recommend for beginners? That's not a lot of time. Let's see if you can explain it in 16 seconds.
What advice would you give to beginner lifters?
Stop trying to do all these crazy fancy exercises. You need to focus on the basics. It's the basics and fundamentals that are going to get you the best results long term. Bench press, squat, deadlift, overhead press, barbell bent over row. Stick to those and you'll be successful.
Okay, so I actually would have expected this guy to say something a lot less smart. Not in a way to be like he doesn't look smart, because he has a decent following. TikTok looks smart, but in terms of, I thought he was going to be like, challenge yourself, make sure to get like heavy weights and stuff like that. That's what I thought when I look at this insanely big guy. But he's actually coming with some really good advice, which is stick to the basics. I mean, that's something we always preach, at least.
Yeah, he's mentioning all the compounds straight away. Like, start doing compounds, start with the basics. And I think that goes for anyone who wants to start a sport, whether it's calisthenics or gym, by the way. It's both good to just start with the basics, let your body get used to
exactly, and that's how most of the stuff is. All the videos I made in the past, or the stuff you made, you've had some personal trainers as well, help you with like those compound movements, those basics, push-ups, pull-ups. And not to say that this guy, I didn't want to say like, this guy, he's not smart. No, what I wanted to say is, in terms of, I thought he was going to say something what is obviously like, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Because you definitely see that on we'll probably see it in one of the next few videos, and something like that.
I expected it to see here, and this guy just really relaxed, calmly explained, like, in 16 seconds, the most fundamental thing that actually you should start with when working out, and just always keep that in mind. You don't need these fancy exercises. You can just stick to the basic, and if you stick to the basics forever, but keep progressing, you're making gains forever.
I agree, and it's a 16-second video, which means that, yes, what he's saying is really good. He just doesn't explain why, but that's fine, right? It's just
TikTok.
It's TikTok. That's fine. So I think for the first one we checked,
this is pretty good for 16 seconds. I'm impressed. I mean, Chiselman Fitness. I mean, go check him out. Oh wait, I saw something.
Okay. Okay, 18 seconds.
Oh, I liked it. I liked it already. Well, let's see if I like it.
The one thing I like is, I'm not a very tall person, so whenever I do weighted pull-ups, this is me.
This is you.
It actually is me in the gym.
You grabbed the stool and
I grabbed something to stand on.
Makes sense.
So I like this guy already.
If you're a beginner in the gym, 18-second TikTok.
If you're a beginner in the gym, here's how you can simply know which exercises target to which muscle group. Anything you do pulling will target your back and your biceps. Anything you do pushing will target your chest and your triceps. Anything you do overhead will target your shoulders. Any front raise will target your front delts. Any lateral raise will target your mid delts. And any shrugs will target your traps. If you're a beginner in the gym...
Okay, so a funny thing here is, when you see the TikTok, the first 2 seconds, you see someone do weighted pull-ups with like plus 30 kilos. You think, why is this for beginners? But actually the information he gives is good to know if you don't know.
It is actually good to know. And I first thought back to people said there was this exercise. I need to get the exercise. I think it was the push-up. There was the push-up, and people kept saying to me, yeah, I do push-ups for chest, and I just do it for chest. I was like, that's cool, but you're also doing it for your triceps. Like, if you're doing it properly, you're also doing it for your triceps, and that's what he explains here. It's for not just one muscle, but it's for an entire muscle group. So I think it's a good TikTok. Like 18 seconds, we're on a good roll here. So
2 out of 2.
There are some nuance to this. So if you have push, pull, any other type of movements, you can also target certain muscle groups differently or not, or more. So yeah, but this
but
is a good
in general,
18 second. Yeah,
and in general, it definitely is correct what he's saying, and I think it's good to know, because there's a lot of people who try and think, oh, so what does this target? And I think if you take this as a basic rule, then yeah, why not? It's good, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Long story short, wherever you felt the pain, that were a target. So black flies which are pulling target the back.
Back flies, no, you push. It's a push.
It's not a pull, no.
This would be a pull. So reverse, which also is a back exercise, would be for your back.
Overhead tricep extension is for shoulders, apparently. Is he saying something that everything?
He said
above?
Overhead.
Ah, okay.
But that's not what he means. Yeah, okay.
So there are some nuances to this, but I mean, I think this is a good TikTok, especially for people that just are like, wait, I want to go to the gym. Let me get some of these straight. I think if you're going to the gym for one of the first times, you're not going to be doing I don't think you're going to be doing a tricep extension overhead. You could be doing
probably
that.
Probably not. No, not smart. I do like what Yusuf is saying. You literally push the weight. It's about the motion, dumbass, which is actually true because you're pushing it.
Okay. Fitness advice for beginners. This one looks interesting.
The most basic things you need to know before you start your fitness journey.
What? Wait.
Your diet is more important than your exercise routine. There is no one size fits all. So experiment with diets that aren't too restrictive to your lifestyle. Okay,
I agree, but I don't think that's what you're gonna do when you just start. I think you're gonna change your meal. You're gonna eat healthier probably and more, but you're not gonna try 100 things straight away because you're gonna get gains anyway.
I would actually say stick to basics. Don't try too much in terms of like, obviously try out some stuff with diet. Stick to the basics. Like if you want to gain weight, eat in a caloric surplus.
Yep.
If you want to lose weight, eat in a caloric deficit. If you want to maintain your weight, gain muscle, especially if you're a beginner, this is, I mean, the newbie gains come in.
I think what he means, but this is me being a bit biased by also the fact the way that he's sitting in his car shirtless and the way he looks, is like if you want to party and everything, that's still possible. You can still, it's not too restrictive for your lifestyle. So just make it work around what you want to be doing. Of course you can go party, you can drink alcohol, but it just means that throughout the day and the day afterwards, you have to eat less.
Exactly, but he's saying like experiment with diets. And I'm like, experiment with diets. I would say actually just sort of not even experiment with diets, just stick to maybe even what you're eating, but look at your caloric intake and up your protein. And that's the first thing you would do when you start.
Yeah, definitely. But I think at the second part here is what he really means is that experiment with diets that aren't too restrictive to your lifestyle. Meaning you could go full ham, only gonna eat rice, broccoli, and chicken, nothing else. But if you really enjoy going out to dinner with friends, so try and find something that works, that is sustainable, and that actually fits within your lifestyle. I think that's what he means, and that I agree with that.
It sounds like he says, if you're not seeing results with one diet, try another one. That's what I thought he meant here. But yeah,
the second part, and a diet is more important than exercise routine. Maybe that's a good one to mention. Which one is more important? I find it very hard.
I would say in terms of seeing visual gains, visual difference, it's going to be 100% diet and food because, I mean, it's like bulking up, shredding down. You're going to be looking, according to probably the teenage girls, if you're like completely shredded with no muscle, you're going to be looking good. That's the thing. Yeah. But in terms of seeing results, I would say, it's definitely both because they go hand in hand, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you work out like crazy and you eat shit and you eat an insane amount of calories, you're just gonna get very big.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be
still gonna get muscle.
You're gonna get muscle.
Yeah. So it depends on the goal. Okay, so long story short, it's funny because we both kind of listened to read something else in this thing. So yes, diet is super important. Yes, make sure your diet works within your lifestyle, that is not too limited, that you can't do anything anymore. But don't experiment. Don't try like 1,000 things. Just
exactly. So I mean, fit in your diet with your lifestyle. But trying out a million diets, not sure if he meant that. That I would definitely not recommend. I would make it super simple because otherwise you're also not going to stick to everything you need to do as well. Just make it super simple. Just look at the basics. Do I need to up the calories, lower the calories, or maintain them? Up the protein to get the optimized protein intake, and then also get just a basic workout routine, which goes hand in hand with the first one. The first one we the first TikTok.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he says, point 2, prioritize your workouts and be consistent. This is a long game. Prioritize your workouts Over what?
I think in terms of planning. So if you plan out your day, because if you speak, there's a lot of people I know, and I say, hey, why did you stop working out, or why aren't you working out? And they say, well,
time.
I don't have time. But that's, I mean, it's a choice, right? So do I want to make the choice to make time to go to the gym, or do I rather watch Netflix for 2 hours, or whatever your other alternative is? And I think that's what
hardworking people, like, do I like prioritize the work here? I guess that's that if you prioritize them and you are willing to wake up instead of at 7, wake up at 6 and get an hour workout in.
Yeah. It's choices, and I think there's always time for workouts. But I understand, because I these days always go straight out of the office. So I'm in the office till like 6. Then I just go to the gym, so I'm home
and then eat.
Relatively late, then eat and have the whole night.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if I go home first, then I know I'm probably just chilling at the sofa a bit, and then it's much harder. So it's prioritizing.
That's a good. I like that one. That's a lot, and and be consistent. This is a long game. It definitely is. Don't expect to see an insane amount of results in 30 days. And I think the first results will come in after 60 to 90 days, and then just build up to there. And the real results, like sitting in your car here, muscular and with a sunset, that's going to be probably like years of training in. So on to the next point. Find workouts genuinely enjoy if you plan to stick. Okay, so these are some. It's a confusing TikTok in terms of what you see, music and speed, because this was like
we couldn't read it first time.
6 seconds, but the tips are actually pretty good. First one, it depends on how you read it, probably.
Yeah.
But find workouts you generally enjoy if you plan to stick with them long term. Always. Same goes for cardio.
Yeah, but keep in mind, maybe a cool little thing about what he does here with TikTok. We probably watch it 3 times now. I think the average person watches this whole video like 3-4 times in order to read it.
Yeah.
And TikTok kind of likes that algorithm-wise, so that's probably why he makes it go that fast.
Yeah, and it's all right. It performed all right for him, but we found it.
We found it. Yeah.
All right, we found
On
it.
to the next one.
That's a lot of advice.
Oh.
That's a lot of advice. Things I wish I knew as a beginner. Form is way more important than the amount of weight lifted.
Yeah. 100%.
Especially, always, but especially as a beginner because of injury as well. But also, like, there is no reason to go super heavy as a beginner.
It's actually funny. I was actually in the gym with someone who only gone to the gym like twice in his life before, did a lot of calisthenics.
Yeah.
And at some point, because I was really critiquing his form, make sure it's super clean. First time you're using weights, heavy weights, And then at some point he said, well, you also cheat a bit. And yes, it's true, but I do think that's exactly what you said. Once you have years of experience doing something, you are it's okay if you cheat a bit to get that last rep, because you know how your body reacts and you won't get injured. If it's the first time you do this with weight, you start, maybe moving a bit momentum or whatever, you will get injured.
Then we're going into like a legend territory when we're talking about Greg Dissett here, for example, saying like, train harder than last time. That is what applies to mainly people that are more advanced, because some people plateau. Everyone at some point, like years in, maybe after 2 years, 3 years, but that's like train harder than last time. But if you're a beginner, there's no last time. You're just starting and getting like building stuff up. And obviously you want to challenge yourself there as well, but that's more in terms of form and getting stronger and getting used to the movements more so than it is about weight you're lifting.
Exactly.
So keep that in mind. Good tip. Nutrition is 70 to 80% of the puzzle. Feed your body accordingly. So here we go again.
Yep.
They go hand in hand, but it is probably around 70% in terms of the visual gains you see.
Yeah.
And also how you feel. So
I think that's what you just said is pretty important. So if you eat very healthy, you will feel more energetic, and then you feel more like, hey, I want to go to the gym. You get better results in the gym. Plus, eating better will. So I guess I agree, but it's also because a lot of people, I think there's so much emphasis on this because a lot of people don't realize how important it is.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
everyone experiences body dysmorphia in some way. I guess that's also true. Depends on the severity of it, but there's always these points where you're like, damn, I looked fat in these pictures back in the day, even though you were not, or I now look fatter than I did when I was completely shredded in summer. Like, obviously,
you always look small.
It plays with you mentally, so you need to keep that in mind. Yeah.
I mean, if you go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week and you have 1 week of not going, you've lost all your gains. If you look in the mirror, that's is absolutely nothing happened. Nothing happened, and especially maybe you just don't have a pump. Exactly. I mean, stuff like that. Yeah. It plays with your mind, so keep that in mind. Really good. Also to keep in mind, don't see that one a lot in actually videos on YouTube even, and this is in a 10-second TikTok. So that's a good one. No one is actually judging you. We all want you to succeed. Okay, so let me, because I go to the gym more than you. You're more calisthenics outside. So one of the things that happens a lot in your head when you go to the gym is thinking, oh, I'm lifting a bit, light weights here. What are people thinking? Or other things, right? And you always feel like they're looking at you, which is just not really the case. So I think that's what he mainly means here. You're doing a warm-up set with bench, and then someone walks by, you think, oh, I hope they know it's a warm-up set. Stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
And they're not judging you, just minding their own business because they just want to grow themselves. Basically.
Exactly. And I think it's more, if you're lifting heavy, then you will get noticed. If you're lifting like just decent weight, normal weight, maybe not a lot, you're not noticed, but also not in a negative way. No. Like people are just like, all right, he's doing his thing. In the calisthenics outside, I train inside by myself, which I love. Outside, I do feel like it's not like they're judging you, you're weak, but it is a battle, which is a bit weird. Not sure if you've noticed that in calisthenics. That is something what I feel like about calisthenics. I haven't been training outside a lot the past year, 2 years, so I'm not sure how that has grown in the calisthenics community, but I found that a real sign of the calisthenics community being very immature still, so it still needs to grow in maturity. And some people, I mean, it depends on the type of people, because it's there's also a lot of great people in the calisthenics community that try to help like someone, because I think that you have that more than in the gym. Like people coming up to you like, hey, do you want to help me? Like I will, or I want to help you with the muscle up. Like, how's this going? Super excited. And it's just the different types of groups. So there's a lot of, I guess that's in the gym as well. So,
well, I think calisthenics is more supportive as a community. So people really want you to succeed, what he says here. And it's cool. Yes, it's true. If you come to a new place, they don't know you, you throw a front lever, all of a sudden you're the king and they come to you for questions. And even though you can't do anything else. So it is sort of a competition there. So people like to show their skills.
But also what I meant with the competition, to clarify that a little bit more, was that when you go to a park and they're doing weighted pull-ups or something, and they have some loud music, and you will be doing weighted pull-ups as well, they're really, that's what I literally experienced 3 times in, I think, the span of 2 months. And then I was like, why is this even happening? What is wrong with these guys? And it was just an entire group of people, and they came there. So I think I'm a bit biased as well.
Yeah, that might be. And I also think that, in the gym, of course, there's so outside you have music playing for everyone, sort of. In a gym, everyone has like their headphones on these days. They're in their own mind, so you're not really gonna ask for tips to someone you don't really know. And outside with calisthenics, that is more though.
I do have to say that is amazing when it comes to calisthenics, and you get all ages outside.
Oh yeah,
everyone from literally like 8 years old to 80 years old. People helping each other in terms of, hey, how you doing? That looked epic. Damn, you're 80 years old and you're throwing a freaking front lever. Like what the hell?
That would be pretty sick.
I've seen stuff like that. That's crazy. And then you just go to people and have an insane talk, and you don't have that a lot in the gym. On the regular days, and it's quite common in calisthenics to go like just
but
talk
plus
to people.
Maybe to round this one off, and then we'll go to the next point. What I like about calisthenics, and that has nothing to do with what he says here, by the way, but if I think about the park I normally work out at, if I go, we're with a group of people. I think the youngest is like 14, 15 years old, and there's a guy who's 80 years old, and then there's me, and there's students, and it really mixes well together, because it's just cool, and it's like, and of course you have people who are there just to try and show off and look at me, but you have that everywhere.
Hitting a muscle group 2 to 3 times a week is the most optimal way to train, definitely.
Yes, when you first start.
Oh yeah.
I think when you first start in a gym, it's best to do probably either 3 times a week full body, or upper body lower, so 2 or 3 times a week.
I would always recommend 3 times a week full body. In terms of most people, the biggest problem is consistency, so sticking to 3 times a week in terms of 6 times a week, easy.
And I think if you have more experience, you want to target them in a bit different way. So if you've been lifting for years, you might go to push-pull legs, so you hit everything twice rather than 3 times, if you want to get certain results, because you can go heavier on those days into certain things. But as a beginner, 100%.
Yeah, and that's still only 2 times a week. So rest days are just as important. Recovery is key. That is, I think I can give an insight on that when it comes to a 30-day challenge that we're always doing. We're now doing 30-day calf raises, 333 calf raises a day. And one team is doing them every other day, so it has one rest day. So there's like around 48 hours in between every single training. Still not a lot of rest, but like still a lot of volume, but it's decent. And the other team, which is me and my brother, we're doing every single day, and it kind of sucks. And I don't see a lot of results. We'll see after 30 days. But looking at all the other challenges we've done, I think we would have been better off having rest.
Of course. I mean, if you look at the science, when do your muscles grow?
Sleeping.
It's sleeping, it's recovery. You know, you have super compensation. So basically, super short what you do with, if you want to grow your muscles, you're going to destroy or you're going to tear up, get little tears in your muscles. And your body doesn't want that. So they're going to grow back stronger and bigger. So the issue here with, if you train every day, is so you make your muscle a bit weaker because you actually are training, you're working out, you're making those little tears, and then it starts to recover, but you start training again, so it gets weaker. So actually training shit every day, especially if you use added weights, by the way. If it's body weight, it's a bit different. You will actually get smaller and weaker and injured if you train too much rather than letting that muscle grow, getting super compensation, and then hitting it again.
Exactly.
So
if your biceps aren't growing, this could be why. This guy...
Why your biceps aren't growing as fast as they could be. It's because the bicep is often treated as one muscle when it's actually three. So here's a quick 20-minute bicep workout that's going to hit all three parts. 4 sets of 12 dumbbell wader curls. These are great for those bicep peaks. Now 4 sets of 12 outwards dumbbell curls. Curling outwards targets the short head, which gives you a wider bicep. Then 4 sets of 12 hammer curls. This works on the brachialis and the long head. Like and follow for more tips. Working absolutely.
He's shiny.
He's very shiny.
He's very shiny. In terms of the workout itself, it sounds a little bit more like these Instagram workouts that people upload to get a workout online, and people follow them, and they could be motivating and stuff like that. But it's not like it's not the entire story.
No, so I in the basics, he's right. You have different parts of your bicep, and you should do different exercises. However, I do not think that if you look at the load, doing 3 different exercises, 4 sets of 12 reps within one thing it's too much load wise. There's no, a lot of people do this. They do too much load in a single workout and it doesn't work. So probably if you have 2 different days where you hit biceps, make sure that you include all 3 that he mentions. That's good advice, but not in one workout. It's just too much load.
I mean, I guess this will work. This workout will work in terms of if you add this to your back workout or your pull workout, your back and biceps workout.
Yeah.
This will work. Could it be a little bit more optimized? Yeah. I mean, if you just sort of, I guess, what would you're more like the gym guy?
Well, yeah. So the main thing that I really see a lot of people do is they feel like the more exercise I do for a certain muscle group, the better in a day, which is not true. You want to look at the optimal load. So how much resistance and how much time under tension, everything am I getting together? And then normally if you've already done back, as you said, for example, you've already targeted your biceps. If you do 1 or 2 bicep exercises, 3 sets per exercise, it's more than enough. More will not get you better results.
Exactly. So if you have an entire, that's why I think the load here, if this will be your workout for the day, which is
also doesn't make sense.
A bit odd to have only biceps, but it could be like if that's your, maybe you're also doing triceps after this, and that's your arms workout. I guess this could work. Then you would have a very interesting bro split, I guess. But if you're also having this during a back workout, so this is the thing that he's not mentioning. He's not like, would you add this to your back workout as a finisher? So you have like a back and bicep workout. It's a big finisher. If you've already done some rows and you've already done your weighted pull-ups and everything, then you're getting a lot of bicep activation already. And to just finish off with, I think the best exercise here will be the outward curls. I think I would just call them regular curls. And just really go for that twist at the end. That's what I would recommend for as a finisher. Maybe a second exercise with hammer curls to get the brachialis a little bit more. And
just, I mean, it's easy to get super technical here, but if you like just training arms, yes, that is bro split kind of shit, because you always want to incorporate a big muscle group in every workout because you actually get much better results because of all the hormones and everything that's produced within your body if you target a big muscle group. So
that's why I need to call it the bro split, and then would be an interesting choice as well, but we're not going to go to the in-depth of that.
Because we're looking at TikTok videos, but apparently your body should shine. That gets you better results.
Baby oil cells. Baby oil. Sky high. 10 million views. Oh, so this is it. Okay, so there's no. I thought there was going to be an explanation or something. It's TikTok. Why did I think it was going to be explanation? Hourglass. So okay, okay, interesting. For an hourglass figure, do this for a bigger. First of all, hourglass genetics.
Yeah.
You can create it. You can create it like more in terms of more hourglass, less hourglass. It's genetics most of the time. It's not like If you do 20 crunches and 30 Russian twists, you're gonna get a big booty and big breasts, like and a smaller waist. If you're still eating pizzas every single day, you're not gonna get that. It's more gonna be that apple figure. I mean, this says nothing.
No, this is. I mean, slimmer waist, eat less.
Get like caloric deficit.
Yeah, I think.
No,
I mean,
this is interesting.
Yes, the exercises here target certain body parts, so that is true, and I think that's where it ends.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to say indeed, these TikToks could be motivating. I do think the reason this TikTok has 2 million likes, 10 million views is not because of the workouts.
No.
Let's go.
Let's say that.
Is this guy again?
What's up?
I got a question for you. What advice would you give someone who's just starting in the gym?
Oh, that's easy. Let me show you. Check out this dumbbell rack right here. You see a lot of you guys are trying to go from the 15s to the 105s in a couple of weeks. But you're forgetting the path from the 15s to the 105s is through the 40s. A lot of you guys are looking for shortcuts to get your results. You need to focus on consistency, not shortcuts if you're just starting in the gym.
It's basically what we discussed in terms of the don't do too heavy weights and just build your way up.
Yeah, it's true. And it's actually what he says is true. So many people who just start. The guy I was mentioning before who was never been to the gym, at some point he said, oh, let me try 1 rep with your weight. I was like, no. Yeah, but it's cool to try. I said, no, just don't. But it's something we want, right? We want to go fast. So it's actually a pretty good point.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, especially because on TikTok, so if you combine all his TikToks together so far, it's some solid advice. Yeah. It's some solid advice. I want to have some sick tip from a female.
I knew when I first started working out. 1.
Oh, that's way too long.
Being in a deficit for too long can slow your metabolism down. 2. Putting on muscle is a more efficient way to lean down than cardio. 3. Progressive overload and compounds are so important for results. 4. Eating is a lot harder than lifting.
Okay.
Let's start with the first one.
Because I like this one. I would like this one. But okay, so being in a deficit for too long can slow down your metabolism.
It's true.
It's definitely true.
Yeah, so basically your body adapts to the amount of food you have, which is very important that our body does this, because if you live in a place or a time where food was scarce, it's good that your metabolism actually slows down a bit. And if you do it too long in a cut, you just feel less hungry, your body just slows down and certain processes just go slower. So it's true.
And it could be very interesting to add to this. Obviously, it's a TikTok, so it's hard to also incorporate that. You can build your metabolism back up again. Yeah. It's also just a process of time, like the same that you have been in a caloric deficit for way too long. So it's low. You have to be in a caloric surplus, or at least be eating plenty to get back to that to your normal metabolism. But yeah, you can boost your metabolism. There are also a lot of like fake stuff out there how to boost metabolism,
like pills and other things
pills
as well.
And I know, drink your own jizz. Putting on muscle is more efficient way to lean down in cardio. Yes. Also, I would say like to lean down than cardio. It depends in which way you're talking about it. Because like it's if you would read this and you would be a beginner, maybe you would be like, so wait, if I want to get shredded for this summer, I would build my muscle and then I'm shredded. Like that's not.
No, but it's the thing that's happening is that muscles need fuel. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you'll be naturally burning. And that's what they mean here.
Exactly. So, that's why the Mr. Olympias of today, they're eating like 6,000 to 8,000 calories a day, maybe even more to get, to bulk up and get ready. And then they are still at, 4,000 calories when it comes to shutting down. But that's because they're these big guys and they need to get fueled for, or girls, and they need to be fueled. But
the reason why they say it's better is because if you do a lot of cardio, and that's why you're in a caloric deficit, you will actually burn some muscle as well. And that's, I think, what they mean. But if you want to lose fat fast, then the fastest way is to do more cardio.
Yeah, to
burn more calories.
Exactly.
So
there is a nuance to this, but it's a good tip or a good thing to know.
Yeah.
3. Progressive overload.
Progressive overload compounds. We talked about this. Yeah. So train hard in the last time, but stick to those basics. Stick to those normal reps. Yeah.
4. 4, eating is a lot harder than lifting.
This was the last one. I was like, wait, what? Eating is a lot harder than lifting. Like I find eating very easy. I can eat,
but maybe that's part of it, right? So eating just the right amount without
that's what she's meaning. She's talking about.
Yeah,
she meant the eating the right amount, clean, and getting the proper nutrition in, and not drinking and stuff like that. I think that's in the word eating.
Yeah. Then I agree.
I think I kind of agree. I mean, it's all about how you prioritize your workouts. If you have enough time, you have like a lot of time, and you prioritize your workouts easily, then I would say the eating part could be like a lot harder because you're like, I have enough time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So it's I think it depends per person, but I guess it's kind of true because eating super clean, but I mean we also gotta say, I think we haven't seen that here. A big tip would be, food wise, you don't need to be 100% strict with your diet to get results. Definitely not. So we haven't seen that here.
No, I think that's one of the things that people often forget. Like, we are not competing in, okay, sure, sometimes you have photo shoots, something for your brand, and then you have to be pretty strict. But in general, for me, yes, I want to try and look good, and I want to become a bit bigger, but I'm not want to be Mr. Olympia or going to go on stage. So it's fine if I go out for a drink sometime, I think. And I think that ties back to the very first one, or one of the first ones from a guy in the car we saw. So your diet should fit like a chill lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is 12,000 likes. Amanda, 80,000 followers. All right, cool.
Pretty
like
good.
it. Like
good video.
it. Like it.
Yeah.
Check her out.
I'd say let's do one or two more.
Let's go to the last two.
Last two.
Fitness facts I wish I knew sooner. Doing ab exercise will not help you get abs. You do not need to work out every day. 3 to 5 times a week works. Waist trainers do not work. You do not have to be skinny to be healthy.
Okay. This last one, I'm happy that we actually saw it, because it's a problem, right, in current society. It's always been a problem, but if you look at a lot of models and other, it seems like you have to be so super skinny. And even what you just said with guys, apparently teenage girls, as long as you're super skinny and you look shredded, you don't have muscle, that's a good thing. No, there's nothing wrong with having even a bit of fat or a bit more of fat.
Actually, it's even better.
It's healthy to have fat.
I would argue that someone is healthier when he's 10% body fat plus, and then obviously to a certain extent.
For women, it's higher, by the way.
Exactly, or less than 10%. So the 10% plus to a certain extent is healthier than the single digit body fat percent.
I think we've both been in a situation where we were very lean. In our lives at some point.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a lot of energy. When I was like super, super lean, you're not, feeling super energetic. Sure, it looks cool if you look in the mirror, but it's not sustainable for a long term.
Oh, no, definitely not. I don't like it myself as well. I'm less productive. My entire life is less interesting. At least I feel like. So yeah, that's a good thing to mention. And I think that also has changed by now. But the view, for example, on the models, that I think recently there was one again, where these models, I'm not sure if it was Victoria's Secret or whatever, and it was in the news again that now, like, if you look at these girls, the models, that's who you want to be as a girl, right?
Yeah.
And those are the skinny, like optimal girls, healthy, but they're like far from that. They're like literally 10% away in body fat terms to be healthy, probably.
And let's be honest, us as guys, I prefer a woman who has shapes. It's not flat.
Not like insanely, no, especially like exactly.
But those models, they basically are just like a piece of board.
Yeah, so that's
not even feminine. Let's put it that way.
That's to an extreme extent, exactly. And that used to be obviously on the covers. That's the optimal healthy way to be. This is what women should be. And now and like that, I think that's a good reference in this TikTok here.
Let's go over the other points real fast here as well.
Yeah. Doing ab exercise will not get you abs.
This is double-sided. So yes, ab exercise can help you make your abs a bit fuller, a bit thicker, but they won't be visible unless you are under a certain body fat percentage. I think
that is 100% genetics as well. If it's at like 15%, and you're gonna see some abs, or you need to be 9%, and then you're gonna see your abs pop for the first time, or 10%. A little bit over exaggerated, but yeah, to a certain extent. But yeah, you can make the progress better for yourself to add some, obviously incorporate some core and ab exercises. So
plus it's super important for strength and for posture and those things. Core exercises.
Exactly. You do not need to work out every day.
Yeah, we've discussed this. Rest.
Yes, obviously. 3 to 5 days. Waist trainers do not work. This is more, I think, also a female thing to use waist trainers.
I've never.
Are those the things that vibrate?
I think so. Yeah. Or are the things that you put like super tight?
Why would they
work?
Why would they work? Yeah.
Or maybe your muscles are activated the whole time.
I guess for work, for beginner TikToks, it makes sense. Yes, this is a good thing to incorporate. You need to put in the work.
Yeah.
And you need to be consistent. We've talked about all these things. It's a game for the long run.
4 brutally honest workout tips. That sounds like
okay.
4 brutally honest workout tips. Being sore is not an indicator that you had a good workout. Taking a rest day doesn't ruin your progress. It actually helps your progress in the long term. You don't need to do 15 exercises per workout. Pick 4 to 8, put your full effort in towards those, and you'll see results. And last, nobody ever complained about being too strong. So keep pushing yourself to do more. Holy.
No one ever complained about being too strong.
Yeah, so he means you can just keep pushing no matter where you are at and how much plates you can pull and that kind of shit.
So you can always challenge yourself.
So being sore is not an indicator that you had a good workout. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the other way around. So if you're the next day you have had a workout and the next day you're not sore, it doesn't mean you had a shitty workout. It's just your muscles like reacting to a certain in a certain way. I've done 4,500 something push-ups in one day. I felt terrible. The next day, had an insane amount of muscle soreness. I can guarantee you was not the most optimal workout.
No. I think one of the most important things to know is your body gets used to a certain type of training at some point, so you don't feel the soreness anymore. But that doesn't mean that it stopped being effective. However, it is good to change up your workout routine and the way you train every now and then, because your body then, gets sort of shocked again and you get a bit better results and you will be sore again. So yes, there is some sort of correlation, but not at all.
No,
but you don't have to be sore, as you say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taking a rest day will help you. Yes. Taking multiple rest days will help you even more every single week. There are people that work out 6 times a week, which is like that could be an optimal. Like you could push pull legs, and that's one rest day. But in terms of muscle groups, there's plenty of rest in between every single workout type of workout, push pull legs. So yeah. That's a good thing. You don't need 15 exercises per workout. That's one I kind of love because we also talked about this.
Yeah.
The load. You don't need if you're gonna do 15 exercises and you're gonna do 3 sets of those 15 exercises. Like what are you even like?
Yeah.
There's a 2-hour workout. At least.
First of all, it doesn't help when it comes to results. Second of all, chance of injury goes up. Third of all, if I would know I have to do 15 different exercises,
I would be so less motivated.
I would lose. Yeah, exactly. So. It is true. And, the last one we discussed. No one ever complained about being too strong.
It is
true.
It is true. I mean, the last is false. You obviously never heard of Saitama. Yeah, that's the I think the bald guy in the calisthenics scene that is going viral always. So funny comment. Nice.
So far, all in all, I must say I'm not disappointed by what we've seen. No, there's one thing that I was hoping we would see but wasn't expecting. That's talking about things like sleep and those things because they are so important. Water intake. We didn't drink your water. We didn't see drink your water.
We didn't see that, no.
So people are targeting the things that they know will work best on TikTok. So they'll talk about abs or your booty as a woman. They will talk about getting fast gains and getting shredded, so food. But they're not really talking about sleep, how you should rest, how much water you should drink, because those are super important as well.
Exactly, and those are the things we haven't really seen. But I must say, it's not all... I mean, like I said, this guy is definitely knows what he's talking about. But it's not all just, baby-oiled guys or girls doing TikTok dance about big dicks being as big as a tower. It is a bit of that. But with some good stuff, especially like Trizzleman Fitness. Like, check out some of these people.
Yeah.
And I hope this video was helpful. I think we provide a decent amount of value as well in our insight, and most of those are based on facts as well and experience. So this is not financial advice, as we always say.
It's not workout advice.
It is.
Oh, it is workout advice.
But do it at your own risk.
Definitely, and do your own research.
But we really hope you found this podcast video helpful, and make sure to check out the other episodes as well if you're liking this, and also make sure to share it around with some people, because then YouTube likes us more, and we are going to be super rich. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you next time.
Bye bye.